Hello and welcome to Holdens podcast. Episode number 3. Today we've got Sam, used to be world champion kickboxer. Right then, Sam, over to you. What age did you start kickboxing?
I was about 6, 7.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something, so I was an hyperactive kid, same as everybody else in the gym at the time. So I got dragged around different gyms. Do I like karate? Do I like taekwondo? Did I like judo? Eventually we settled, went to a gym, Dale Sampson's gym. Dale's quite well known in the area of the martial arts. And he's just a tough gym, mate. He's just a tough
That was
gym.
Apollo, wasn't it?
It was before Apollo.
Before
Apollo, mate.
Yeah.
It was SKO at the time. No, Samson's Martial Arts at the time. It was tough, mate. It was, you go there like, and
Yeah.
if you was a naughty kid or you got loads of energy, mate, you go to Dale's gym, mate. It was tough, rough.
To be fair, I used to train there myself. Who was the shorter lad that used to help Dale out at Apollo? Chris, was it?
Chris, there was loads of people,
Chris?
mate. The talent was in abundance there, mate. So
Yeah.
it was one of them, mate. Started there a couple of times a week.
How long did it take to build up to where you got to?
Oh, ages, mate. I was shite.
Was that?
I was shite. I was awful. You used to just go, mate, and it was the process at the time. You'd have to get your white belt, and then before you could spar.
Yeah.
Sparring, because I was always a tall kid, so I was in with the bigger kids.
Yeah.
You should get my ass handed to me.
What's the process then? Talk me through the process of like the belts and
Your gradings, 3 months, you do your first belt. If you pass, you can't fucking fail. You can't fail your first belt. If you fail, you've got some issues going on.
Yeah, issues.
Some major issues with your motor skills. Like.
Yeah.
So, and then you can spar. Now, at the time, the gym, I don't know what it's like now so much, but at the time that gym was known, it was hard.
Yeah, I can remember it myself. Obviously, I used to do a bit of kickboxing.
The stock of fighters that was coming out of that gym that
Yeah.
moved on to boxing and other sports was phenomenal. So
Yeah.
if you made it, you was all right.
When did you do your first competition and stuff?
Oh, jeez. I think I was about a yellow belt, mate, and I got handed. I just got it handed to me first round. I did that for about a year, 18 months. First round of tournaments, lost first round.
Did you?
Yeah, it was demoralising. I used to sit there and beg my mum and dad to let me stop.
Yeah.
And they'd put me in the car every single session. I'd have to go back, and then I don't know what it was. I just clicked, and then from being a lose all the time, something clicked and I couldn't lose.
Yeah.
It was a win continuously.
Win.
But then obviously you hit a point.
So how long did it take you to get from like your white belt to your black belt?
Oh, about 4 years.
4 years.
About 4 years. It was easy, mate. It was easy. When you're young, there's no fear. You haven't got to worry about paying for your sessions.
That's right.
You ain't got to worry about getting to the gym.
That's right.
When you're an adult and you're trying to do something, a sport, and you take up a sport, and
Yeah.
you've got to do it yourself. When you're a kid, mate, your mum and dad set everything. Your uniform's ironed for you.
Everything's there for you.
Everything's there, mate.
Everything's there for you.
It's great.
So when did you start competing at high level?
You just transition from like local tournaments, small tournaments, into your nationals, and then I think went to a qualifiers for World Championships in Manchester. And myself and my teammate at the time, Terry Ullman from Stoke, qualified to compete in the World Championships, 1999.
Yeah.
And we went over to Hanover in Germany, and to be fair, we didn't expect a lot of it. I got beat in the semi-finals by a Canadian. I'd won about 4 fights, got to the semi-finals, got beat by a Canadian by a margin.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, my dad's always supported me, but it was like, you could see the disappointment. The disappointment in his face, but the disappointment I'd got for myself.
Yeah.
And I knew bronze medal, I'd always be in our household, you're not there taking part.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel everybody should be the same. This is a problem in today's society where
Yeah, it's right.
we're all there to take part.
We're all there to take part, but the trouble is with today, everyone's a winner even if you do lose.
You can't be. Not in my household.
I don't think it's It can be that way.
People who are watching this are going to disagree with me, and your average Joe will disagree with me.
Yeah.
I've got 3 children, and I can ask any one of them, have you ever done a sports day and gone to take part? And they say no. My dad tells me I've got to win.
Yeah, you got to win.
Second place isn't a place. Nobody ever asks who comes second. You don't go and say who comes second. You only ask who won. So for me, if you come second, you're lost. That's it, simple.
There's no justifying that everyone's a winner. How can everyone be a winner? Say for instance now at sports day, everyone wins.
Yeah,
everyone's classed the same, even if you've come 6th, 7th, 8th, or whatever. It's like, I think that's what it's taking the drive out of people.
There's no drive, there's no where's the passion now? There's not many people you see. You see it in combat sports. You'll always see it in combat sports. You'll always see it within the rugby teams.
Yeah.
Because you have to step up. If you don't step up and you switch off, you get hurt. You know what I mean?
It's the same as like boxing, kickboxing.
Kickboxing, any
MMA.
of those sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see it in workplaces now, people who just turning up and you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm just here for the wage. There's no
thrill in it, is there? There's no like enjoyment. Like, I don't know about yourself, but with my line of work, my barbering, I love working. I love my job.
Yeah.
Like I can officially say, like, I love cutting hair.
Yeah.
Even now, I don't.
That sounds strange. That doesn't
it sounds mad.
Yeah,
to love your job, even after so many years of doing barbering.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what's kept me interested.
I was probably at my happiest when I taught martial arts for a living.
Was that?
Yeah. I progressed into that, teaching and fight, continuing to compete abroad in worlds and Europeans up until probably, I don't know, mid 2000s. Then I petered off, obviously, the drink and partying coming into play. And
I think, can you remember when you taught me with Drew Neal years ago at Dan
Woodruff's, yeah.
Dan Woodruff's.
Yeah, we did a seminar, yeah.
We did a seminar there,
myself
remember?
And Drew, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember it like
that
yesterday.
was when he was in Lower High Street, yeah.
Down Bagley Street, wasn't he?
I mean, you look at Drew Neal now. He's doing great things, mate.
Is it?
Great things, man.
Honestly,
lives in India. He's basically married to a Bollywood actress. He's teaching all the high-level people over in India fitness, which he's always been super fit,
yeah.
And bringing martial arts choreography into fight scenes. And he's doing great things. But that comes from the same aspect. He's been brought up to be a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In 10 years' time, 20 years' time, my kids, my grandkids, are they going to be the same? I know my kids will.
Yeah.
Because you're not there to take part.
You've got to win it. Well, even if you don't win, like, you've got to still have the mind frame to win next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
100%.
You can't just say, oh, I lost, never mind.
So would you say that, did you used to suffer with any kind of mental health when you was younger? Like at school, would you say you suffered with like...
I didn't...
Would you?
No. I think everyone suffers with mental health. Especially if you're in a high level sports, the stress and the pressures you put on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's got some kind of routines or rituals that they'll do, and the stress that you put on yourself, especially anybody will tell you that's competed, you have the highs, and the massive lows. An example of that, I got asked to fight not long ago in a event called SFX. Now, I hadn't been in a gym for 2 years. I'd had 5 weeks notice.
Yeah.
I suffer severely with my back. I've got a degenerative spine. So my back's knackering on me day by day.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'll fight. I got offered to fight, and I said, yeah, I'll fight, thinking I'd still got it.
How'd you get on?
I got knocked out.
Did you?
I got knocked out, mate, and I felt great up until the week of the fight, and my back went. But instead of just being normal and sensible like most people and saying, phoning the promoter, who was my friend and who would have understood, and saying, look, I'm injured, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I thought,
Still
fuck
went
it,
forward.
I can do it, fuck it. my ego got the better of me.
Ego got the better.
I'm Sam Timmis. I competed years ago at high level. I can still do it, and unfortunately, first round I was all right. I'm massively overweight, out of shape. First round I was good, and I just got caught, mate, with a peach of a right hand. He fractured my orbital, fractured all my nose, and that was it. And it's for probably 3-4 weeks after that.
Yeah.
I struggled massively. Like
what with like the defeat.
Yeah, I was worried more. It's a sign of probably depression or anxiety of the thought of what everybody thought to me. Can you believe, like, the last time...
reputation kind
of thing?
Yes,
these people probably saw me compete early 2000s when I was smashing it, and now I've just come back 2024 and I'm overweight and I've just got knocked out quite easily, to be honest. I was slow, I was sluggish, so...
I think in your mind though, you've still got it, but obviously as you get older, it's like your fitness and
you've got to look after yourself. If you're
flexibility, even like just your movement, you know what I mean? It's like, I did a fight last year when I did a boxing fight, same kind of thing. I thought I used to be quite good back in the day.
Yeah.
Why not? And same kind of thing. Like, it's demoralising really, because in my head I knew I was a winner.
Yeah,
like
100%.
100%. But the fact that I give up in a way because I wasn't fit enough.
But that's hard on yourself then.
It's hard on myself then, because obviously for about a couple of months after, the same as you, like I was the same. I was like, I can't believe I've lost.
Yeah, I was.
Can't believe I've lost.
To be honest, I was in a good frame of mind before going in. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs. You know what I mean? I have drunk, I have smoked in the past, and I've took drugs.
Yeah.
But because I don't do none of those, and I live a relatively clean life, my mental health was in a good state.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have still been on the packet and still drinking, I'd have struggled like I have done in the past.
Yeah. Did at any point did you ever think you wanted to escape?
Fucking hell, yeah. There's nothing worse than going home, mate. I've got my 3 kids watching me, my missus with me, and I'd just been knocked out in front of a load of people who was expecting, my 3 kids expecting the dad, who was a former world champion, to spank this lad who's 10 years younger than me, and realistically, and then I get knocked out in front of me. It was
demoralising.
It was hard, man. It was hard, but not one point did I think, fuck this. It's been harder for me to accept, because I've done this a few times where I've came back to fight when I shouldn't have, and it's been harder for me to accept that I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah,
I'm never going to have that massive high. I can't do it. That's the hard part where I'm struggling in my head, that I'm never going to
fight
that
again.
Yeah, it's hard. That's a struggle. But
what else do you do to, like?
I got kids. I got kids, man. So I find the positives away from that.
Yeah.
I go and watch my son play football.
Yeah.
My other little lad, he's just a fun kid. Like, he'll come and sit and cuddle you.
Like, they give you energy, don't they, kids?
I move my energy from that into that.
Yeah.
And that helps me. If I didn't have kids, it might be a different story.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's too easy to slip into bad habits when something doesn't go right or something goes wrong.
It's easy to fall back off, and
many people do it.
A lot of people do.
You resort back to going out on a bender and thinking, I'll be all right, fuck it. I'll go on a bender. Everything will be all right, but I think
it don't prove nothing, does it?
I think we all know, like, you go on a bender, you're on that slide then.
As soon as like you start, I think if you're in a bit of a vulnerable place with your mental health, the worst thing you can do is start drinking, sniffing, and doing drugs. Anything
you can't
anything
complain.
That's going to mess with your chemical imbalance in your brain, like any narcotics or I think alcohol is probably one of the worst. It messes with you.
Alcohol's horrible, mate. Anybody that watches this will agree with what I'm about to say. I'm the worst man when I've had 5-6 pints, because I'll go missing for days. If somebody says to me, there's a party here, I don't care, mate. I don't care what's going on at home. I don't care what's going on there. I'm there.
Is that purely because of the drink, though, you reckon?
Yeah, I just abstain from it. I don't drink because
of that reason.
I'm not like it all the time, but it doesn't take a lot for me to be swayed.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me just to stop, just say that's it, like, and you know what I mean. What people can't complain about mental health problems. Nobody can complain about mental health if you're drinking, you're taking drugs, or you're eating shit food. If you're doing any of those three things and you complain about mental health,
or not exercising,
not getting out there, you can't really complain. If you just change slowly, one by one, I guarantee your mental health will change.
Massively.
100%.
Massive. Obviously, you've been through it. I've been through it. Like, people that are struggling, it's hard just to get that 1 foot on the ladder. You know what I mean? That first step is always the hardest. Like, I've always found that the first step is always the hardest, and then as long as you keep consistent and you've got like an end goal or something to focus on,
you've got to have accountability for me.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, it ain't easy to talk to someone. I know I can say this. I've sat there with counsellors many years ago when I lost the plot, but that was my own doing. I was on the packet. So you're going to lose the plot.
What was your mental health like when you was drinking and stuff? How did it used to make you feel?
I was a binge drinker. So, but you go on binges, mate, and you feel fucking tired and you're lethargic. You go to work on a Monday, you're crabby. You know what I mean?
Less productive.
Yeah, the what over the weekend, the 10 hours you spent on the lash.
Yeah.
It's 10 hours that you could spend doing something productive with your family.
Yeah, it's right. Like today, like the bank holiday weekend, this weekend, I could have easily gone out drinking and partying and doing what I used to do, but
sitting in somebody's kitchen till 5 in the morning, peering through curtains.
I don't see the point. It's when you think back now, when you're sober, it's actually a real bad lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? And I'll say to anybody, I've had some of the wildest sessions and parties, some of the funny shit. I'm not going to say any of it because you'll probably incriminate a lot of people. But some of the funny shit that I've done and gone on, mate, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. I can laugh about it now.
You have to laugh about it now.
I laugh about it now, but
at the time, it's like,
I think, Jesus Christ, man, what was going on? What was going on? You know what I mean?
No, it's all through. You don't think straight, though, do you? When you're binging, you don't really.
Yeah.
You don't think straight, do you? Like, your brain's constantly, 1 minute is you're high, then you're low, then you're in the middle, then you're always looking for something to make you feel how you felt last Saturday in Joe Blogg's kitchen, you know what I mean? It's right, isn't it?
You've got to get away from that, man. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's the Friday trap, innit?
Of course it is. That's what
most people have done it. The Friday trap. You're looking at your clock at work, thinking, "Oh, it's nearly 4:30, it's nearly 5 o'clock." You know what I mean?
Wait to finish, and
you're rushing off to get down to your local or wherever. You know what I mean? And then it gets to the point where you pop out in your work gear.
And you're out all night in your work gear.
Before you know it, mate, you're in the kitchen at 5 o'clock in the morning when your Ivy's vest and steel toe caps.
That's right. Doing the moonwalk.
Yeah.
That's right, eh?
Doing the moonwalk, mate. Sitting, singing, telling everyone you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow.
It's right.
You know what I mean?
And you're probably still in bed till 1 o'clock.
And then you're in bed thinking, why the fuck have I done that?
It's right.
For me,
it's right, though, isn't it? Like, you could.
It's not the way forward.
It definitely had the right way forward, but also I think a lot of it's to do with the circle that you're in. Like,
yeah, massively.
I think being with the wrong people will end up making you a wrong one.
You can be the wrong person now. You can be in a group
and you're
of good people. Honestly, the accountability for me, I could be in a group with good people, and if I've got that in my head that I'm going on a bender, I'll make sure everyone in that group goes on a bender. And that's the sad part of it. And we've all done it. Your mate's gone, I ain't drinking tonight. This is a problem with drink for me. And your mate will say to you, I'm not drinking tonight. And you go, go on, have one. Go on, have one.
Right,
come on, have a drink. Don't be a fucking soft bastard. Have a drink.
That's right.
How many times do you see, like, say if your mate's a recovering heroin addict, for instance, how many times do you say, go on, have a jab of that. Go on, have some more of that. Go on.
It's the same though,
Let's
really.
go and get some smack. It's the same. You're pressuring somebody to do a drug.
Alcohol is a drug.
It's
worst drugs out there, I reckon.
It's the most easily accessible
and accepted.
And if you don't do it, you're persecuted by your friends in your peer group. I think it's hard for people, and it's advertised that much. You look everywhere. Let's go and have a pint. Every movie, they're drinking, everything. It's too easy.
Waiting in Sainsbury's just to get your shopping. You know what I mean? It's like if you have had a drink problem in the past, and you even just shopping, like it's in your face.
Yeah.
Like when I was at my worst, like I can remember being in the Sainsbury's local. I looked to my right, looked to my left, looked in front of me, and there was just alcohol everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, for me to stop drinking, I had to change where I used to shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's hard.
I started using butchers and farm shops.
Mm.
For me to change, I had to stop going into supermarkets because alcohol was always in front of me. And if I'd have had a bad day, my first escape would have been a few pints or a few cans or a bottle of wine.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Just to calm the voices down in my head. But I think what we don't realise is when we do start drinking, the voices get quiet, and then the next day they're twice as loud.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a problem. Alcohol's the worst. I don't say stop drinking to everybody that's ever watching this, because that's absolute horseshit. I mean,
yeah.
I could pick up a beer tomorrow happily, but I just don't want to. It's not that I had a problem with alcohol, because I ain't got a problem with anything really. I'm pretty strong-willed in that respect. But there's a lot of people that aren't, and it's rammed in your throat.
I think your willpower is a lot less when you do have 2 or 3 pints. Or
yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know about you, but for myself, like from past experiences, if I have a couple of 3 pints, that's when the demons in the back of my head start talking to me then, and like, you know what I mean, go on Dan, you'll be alright, just this once, you know what I mean, and then it's like keeping that mindset where them voices only come when alcohol goes into my mouth. So if I don't drink, the voices, I'm still there, but that little demon that keeps saying, go on Dan, do what you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
He's quiet.
That's a mental battle with yourself, isn't it? It's a battle within, and
that's just addiction in general though, I think. Like,
it's the hardest battle you'll ever have. Like, I think that's why I've probably came back and competed a few times when I shouldn't have, because I'm addicted to that. Before you fight, the nerves. That was my addiction.
And butterflies in your stomach.
That thing of going, shit, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? On my week out, what excuse can I make not to do this? You know what I mean? And some people have other addictions. I've enjoyed partying, mate. I've partied with some of the best people in the world. But fucking hell, there's a time when you have to stop, when you start going down that slippery slope.
I think it will come eventually. Like, if you're drinking consistently every weekend, it always starts off recreational, and then eventually it's like it takes one thing in your life to go wrong.
Yeah.
And if you are drinking and sniffing cocaine as recreational, it takes one thing for you to woof.
That's your fallback plan.
Fallback plan
all the time.
And that's why I always speak to people who's never really suffered with addiction and stuff like that. It is always on the cards, because if you like a drink and you like to do this and you like to do that, it's okay doing it when you're on the up, but when you start drinking and taking drugs when you feel rock bottom or something happens in your life, it's a slippery slope you can never go on.
A lot of people caught out of it, mate. A
lot of people caught out of it.
A lot of people, top sports people, a lot of people I know on a personal level, that have been caught out, think that can control things. I can control it. I only have a few drinks, but you're not only having a few drinks, you have a few drinks, you hit the packet. So a few drinks leads you to the packet, and then that becomes, you're waiting for that every Friday. And then every Friday becomes Friday, Saturday, and then you think, fuck it, it's Wednesday, I've had a real bad day. and then it becomes to a Wednesday.
And then a Tuesday. Then
before
you know it, you're on it every day.
There you go. And people don't realise, because you get a massive high, that low comes. That low comes. You might not feel it. You might not be a physical feeling, but it comes, and it's going to bite you.
It normally affects the closest ones around you. Like, talking from experience, like when I used to drink heavily and get up to all kinds of things, everyone around me who was close to me used to suffer, especially my family, because I wasn't a nice person to be around, because I was always on a come down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was only okay when I was drinking and doing whatever else. Like, but to get out of that and just become high on life, it's priceless.
But it's hard to find. You've got to find your out, haven't you?
It takes time, I think.
You can't just say,
it takes a lot of time.
Fuck it, I've stopped. That's it. I've stopped drinking. I've stopped eating the packet. I've stopped doing this. It takes time, doesn't it? You can't just have stopped.
It does.
You have to
time.
find something to fill a void,
I think,
in your life.
With feeling low and down, you look for anything to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
and I think what people don't realise is they expect fast change. Like a quick. Say if you're in a bit of a rut, people expect change instantly.
It's society, that is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I've noticed myself. I don't actually. I'm not involved in anything martial arts at all, which is strange considering I did 30 years of my life to it. But I watch people now who want to be a champion within a year. I've got people. Everybody wants
it fast.
What somebody else has got. That's his. You know what I mean? People probably look at you and say he's damn successful. He's got his own barbershop. And there's probably people thinking, oh, we'll cut corners, we can do that. But they don't see the years that you've put in to do that.
And it takes time.
Or the years it took me to get to the level I got 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You have to follow a process.
It's a long process. Like,
and people don't want to do that now.
I think a lot of it is luck as well. Like, where, it's consistency, and I think a lot of it is luck as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just being in the right place.
I think you make your own luck. I'm a strong believer in.
Yeah.
You haven't got your barbershop to being busy through luck, is it?
It's just being in the right place at the right time, you know what I mean?
No, but it's through work, isn't it?
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I've worked...
If you was a shit barber, you wouldn't have nobody there.
No.
So it's not luck. Don't degrade yourself.
No, it's a bit of both really, like, it's just being in the right place and knowing the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And like, obviously when I was younger, I was a bit of a rebel, so the only way I was going to earn a living is by getting a trade.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the same, like, you know what I mean? Like, academically, I ain't very good at all, but
I'm racked off, mate.
Put something in my hands, like, and to do a practical thing, and then I'll master it to a T. You know what I mean?
I was awful at school, probably similar to yourself, mate. I got an older brother who does his own thing. Yeah. My sister is very, very clever. I come from a well-to-do family who's very straight-laced, like, and been brought up the same. We all got brought up the same. My brother was a criminal. My sister's very straight-laced. She's high up within the NHS. And me, I just didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do other than kickbox around the world, and in between that, go on the piss and get smashed and cause trouble on weekends. And
do you reckon like training up to a fight and then doing the fight, then not having something lined up in the pipeline for the next thing, do you reckon that used to like impact your mental health?
No, I was terrible, mate. I remember fighting the NEC in a show called God, what was it, Senai, I think it was, and so they got a tournament on, and it was a team event, and we were sponsored by Top 10 at the time, which is big martial arts, mate, and there was myself, Drew Neal in the team, like household names within the sport, and I fought Michael Page, who's now doing well in the UFC, and I'd been on the lash the night before. I'd been pissed up, still in the pub at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I clashed with him, and we cut my eye, and the referee at the time wouldn't allow me to continue. And the disappointment from the old man's face, because he could smell the booze on me in the car on the way back, said it all. But the week after, I was still out on the Friday, Saturday, and fighting on a Sunday in the tournament, because I got away with it for so many years.
Yeah.
I was hitting the lash and still competing, and partying, hitting the packet and still competing.
Do you reckon you would have been a lot more, I don't know, do you reckon you would have been more focused if you were drinking?
I think I'd have been still probably competing at a really high level if I'd have had the discipline, and the ego ruined me where I thought I was better than I was. As you get older, I think you lose a bit of your ego and your attitude problem, and you learn to respect things a lot more. But in the same respect, by losing that bit of ego and attitude problem, it's probably took the spark out of what I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
Because it was that gave you that bit of edge, bit of spark.
So, where did you compete at your best level? What?
Canada. I did Germany '99. Canada in 2000 was Cadet World Championships. I won that.
Did you?
Yeah. 2002, I competed the Adult European Championships.
Where was that one?
In Italy, Jesolo. Yeah, that was a good one. My granddad was a prisoner of war, funny enough. And when I started kickboxing and we was going abroad in Europeans World Championships, he basically told me not to ever lose to a German. And I know it sounds really bad saying that, but it was just because he was a prisoner of war at the time. It was something that stuck in my head as competition. Yeah. And I've got a 100% success rate. So, and it was just a promise I made, like, and it was something that stuck with me, and I had to do it. So, Italy 2002. Yeah. 2004 Slovenia. 2005 Canada. And then in between we had Austria, Ireland.
Was that just like Italy. Smaller competitions?
Or? Yeah, just different cups, That was good. It was good. The standard's good. The standard across Europe's great, but it's all self-funded. I was lucky. My dad funded me basically. You know what I mean? My last proper World Championships 2005 in Canada. I competed in 2014 in one, but I won class that. 2005 in Canada, I think I got about 4 weeks' notice, and I got asked, did I want to fight? And my dad said, yeah. Next thing you know, we're on a plane to Canada, and I absolutely smashed it. And there's no better feeling than competing and being on a podium and hearing your national anthem. You know what I mean? It's a feeling you'll never lose, and it's just stories along the way. Yeah. And some of the people you meet, I've got friends who I don't see for years, and every now and again, if one of them's been poorly or something, we're on the phone to each other. Like we've never been apart.
Well, just like connections through
kickboxing, like through the martial arts, like it gives you that camaraderie with people, and it's something that's great.
I think that's another thing as you get older. Like you do lose connection with people, don't you?
But is that a good thing? Your circle becomes small, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Like sometimes it is a good thing, but then sometimes you do find times where it's like, it's always nice to have someone to call and have a conversation with, and if you do feel, as man to man, it's like you'll never sit down and talk to your missus and say, oh, I feel like this, I feel like that, because you don't want your missus thinking that you're weak.
You're the man of the house, mate.
Yeah, it's like
that's, you know what I mean? I got friends like, and I know one or two at the minute they're struggling, and I'll drop them a message. They don't want to talk. I found them, and you know yourself, man. So I know myself. When you're struggling and you're in your own head trying to get out this rut that you're in, and your phone rings and you go, fuck that, I ain't answering that, and you just turn it down. But you'll answer messages, won't you? So I text people now, because I know myself when I've been in the shit. You don't want to talk, You don't want to talk to people, mate. And I know people keep saying talk to people, so I text my mates. How are you, mate? Everything all right? And I try and put something funny in there. If I can make them have a giggle, it might snap them out of it. So I know when people used to, with me, when I was struggling, fucking hell, man, I'll be rallying on myself, constantly onto myself.
Well, it's the same with me. Like when you've been on a bender, the last thing you want to do is answer your phone. Like your phone's on do not disturb in the highest point of the kitchen that you could possibly get to see your core eerie.
Yeah.
And then your head's buried in the sand in bed, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it is hard to. It's hard to speak when you're in a bit of a down place, like, and you am rock bottom, because you lose all hope, don't you? Like, and
yeah, it's a lot of this. What they say to blokes now, and people agree with me or don't agree with me. People say, get out there and talk. Yes, I suppose so. But if a bloke's struggling, and people are saying, get out there and talk, so you've got to relive the things you're struggling with to somebody else that you don't fucking know. That's what a load of bollocks.
It's hard to talk.
What a load of bollocks.
It is hard to talk.
How easy is it to pick up the phone and ring somebody you don't know and talk on a helpline and say, oh, my name's Sam, or my name's Dan, I've got a problem. You ain't doing that. You're not happening, mate. You know what I mean? But then what does your mate say? You ring, I don't know, ring Joe Bloggs. What's he say? Come down the pub, we'll meet up. And you think, fucking hell, man, it's like a vicious circle.
It is a vicious circle. Like, when I was rock bottom, I never rang an helpline, really. Like, that was the last thing that I'd ever do.
Exactly.
It's all, I think the whole, like, avenue of help with mental health isn't set up right.
No.
Like, I think that's why there's a lot of people out there struggling at the moment, and I'll give you a story that I've heard today, like doing a car boot, and I went to get a drink from one of the, what's it called, the little refreshment cabins. And because I did one yesterday as well, I didn't see him yesterday, like I thought, oh, how come he wasn't here yesterday? And the bloke was a bit upset, and his wife, who was doing the catering, said, oh, we've had some like upsetting news in the family. Straight away I thought, oh, what was... I really asked, but they chose to tell me. So one of their close friends' son hung himself yesterday.
Yeah, shit, man.
And he got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do a car boot, like the catering, and he couldn't go because he had to cut his best mate's son down, like, from hanging himself. And it got me a bit like teared up, because it made me realise, like, when I was a rock bottom, that was nearly me.
Yeah.
Like, because
listen, we've all been there, man.
And to see it's like the pain and the grief that it causes, not within the family, like people around you, and like, and that poor bloke now, he's going to have that memory in his life forever.
Yeah.
And all because, no doubt about it, that the chap didn't know who to turn to, what to turn to, and he needed help. And it's a shame, really, because...
But what could you do to change it?
I don't know.
In hindsight, there's nothing you could have said or said.
I think once you it's tunnel vision, is it?
Once your mind's made up and you're doing that. I'm a strong believer, if you've got your mind, you're doing that, you ain't coming back from it. People can maybe have to save you during the process of however you choose to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? I myself, in the last 10 years, know multiple people who I know on a personal level. You know what I mean? As you probably do.
Yeah,
because we're in similar social circles, so who have decided that's the only way out. But all these years on, they're still struggling. Parents, ex-partners,
friends, everything.
Kids,
it's a knock-on effect, isn't it? It's a knock-on effect. Like it isn't the easy way out, as people say.
Man, it takes bollocks, doesn't it?
It's the hardest way out possible. Like,
I couldn't think of something worse than having the
it's
bollocks to do that.
It's about having, but I think it's just about being lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lost. And it's not just the effect that it has on the people around you, like your family and your friends, and Like, I lost mates in the past, and to this day, still could have done something about it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a mental strain on your friends and your family if you am thinking about taking your own life or doing anything to harm yourself. You got to think of the people around you and the people that do love you. Like, the situation that anybody's in and feeling that low, everything, it always passes, like, you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it will pass.
It always passes.
But if you're on your own and that sort of set time when that comes into your head,
yeah,
there's no, as hard as it sounds, I don't think there's nothing anybody could do. For me, more solid bit of advice to anybody that's struggling: go to a boxing gym, go to a martial arts class, go to some form of combat sports.
Or just even go for a run.
Go for a walk. Go to your supermarket and just walk around and have a chat with someone in the aisle. Don't talk about anything. You ain't got to tell anybody you're struggling. You haven't got to tell anybody that you're thinking of doing something nasty to yourself. Because I guarantee you, there's every bloke at some point in their life thinks you're a failure. Whether it be your missus, kids, or you failed at something, business or whatever. We all do. I've had it.
Yeah.
But go and do something. Try. Before you think about doing something bad to yourself, go and try it. You know what I mean? Just see how you feel. See how you feel.
You got to get out there, and the best thing to do is get out the door. The worst thing you can do is sit in the house and be in your own head. Like, it's...
I mean, what helped you?
What helped me? I think what helped me was my family. Like, if you ain't got no family, or you ain't got close relatives or friends, what helped me was going to AA. Like, my first step was AA.
Yeah.
Like, and that helped me because being around people who are similar to me and going through the same struggles of what I've been through, I learned more off them than I did off anybody else, because there's no better advice than experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, someone that's been through a rough time and been sober for 2-3 years, they are going to advise you in the right direction, because they've been in my footsteps. They've been in the same situation that I was in. So if I was going to listen to anybody, it's to listen to somebody who's already been there and sober, because there's no better advice and experience from somebody who's experienced mental health and addiction.
You find the gym helps you though? Because for me, I haven't been in the gym since May when I had that fight. Solely down to I can't hardly walk some days. But
the gym helps me massively.
The gym's massive for me.
Massively, but I was injured last year through my boxing fight. I did something to my neck, so all this year I've been like fluttering between. I couldn't be bothered, like I'd train, my neck was hurting me, but I've come to the conclusion now is I need the gym. Whether it's a 20-minute walk on the treadmill and 20 press-ups, I need routine and I need structure and I need the gym.
Routine's great, mate.
Routine's great. Like, it's took me a very long time to figure out routine and structure, and I'm still working on it now. But to have a structured day and know what I'm doing within that day decreases my cravings and all the badness in my head by 80%.
Yeah.
It's because it's checking points. Like, as I go through the day, I know where I am, I know what I've got to do. Whether, if I wake up on the morning and I don't know what I'm doing, anxiety, lost, moping, wandering around, going places I shouldn't be going. And that's when you start, when you relapse then. You know what I mean?
For me, some of the best things for me is, you know, when you walk down the street or you walk in your supermarket or you walk wherever and you see an old person and they go, "How are you, love?" And they smile at you.
Yeah.
Silly things like that for me. I can be in a terrible mood. You know what I mean? My kids could have been a dick or something, you know what I mean? Anything could have happened at home. But I could go out and an old lady could say to me, "Oh, how are you, love?" And I could have a bit of banter or something.
Yeah, it's all about having the banter, isn't it?
My mood changes instantly from being angry, thinking, fucking hell.
It's right, and it just talking to the right people
Cheers me up.
Talking to the right people can change your mind.
100%, man. 100%.
I mean, talking to the wrong people and like speaking about, like you say, them people who, what you doing? Do you want to come for a drink? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? No, I don't. Like
them people ain't, listen, I found out, those people that want you to go out and hit the packet, they ain't your friends. They're not your friends. Your man that's sending you a text on a Friday 3 for 100 ain't your friend.
Nah.
They're not. They're not your friends.
No.
All right, mate, I've got some fire. That's not your friend. You know what I mean?
They're laughing at you. Really.
They're taking the piss, man. They're taking the piss. Your friends don't want you to fail. Real friends don't want you to fail.
No, your real friends will be supportive and help you all the way. And like, I think as the generation going forward, people don't want to help you, like, because they've got their own lives and stuff like that. But
yeah,
you've always got to have a bit of time for some other people. There's always somebody out there having a worse day than you.
You'll get bit. I got bit. I did during COVID lockdown. I helped somebody, said they were struggling financially through no fault of their own, and I bought them food shopping, and I sent them money, and it turns out that was a crackhead. Somebody I'd known through martial arts, and that bothered me. That really bothered me. The thought that I'd gone out my way, I'd bought food shopping for the person, had it delivered to them, not round this area. You know what I mean? So I couldn't hand deliver it, and sent them money through the bank account, and then to find out that, fucking hell, to have photos sent me, the flat they're being evicted of, fucking tinfoil all over the place. It upset me, mate. It upset me.
Is,
so
but then
you become reluctant then to help.
Yeah, it's right, but you've also got to realise that there's some people that just take, but there is also some good people out there, and like obviously you've got a good heart and caring. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done what you've done for that person.
Yeah, 100%. I'd do it again though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're gonna get the people like that. I've had it in the past where you help people and they do throw it back in your face, but unfortunately, when you're dealing with someone who's suffering with alcohol and addiction, deep down they probably don't mean to do it, because it's just the process and the addiction that they're going through that they throw it back in your face without doing it, without even thinking that they am throwing it in your face.
Needs must.
Yeah, needs must. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Like, but I've done the same, and then the person's got sober, 12 months sober, then it's like dealing with a different person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all down to what you're consuming in your mouth or up your nose.
Can change. People do change.
Obviously, you can change. I know you can change.
100% people can change. I've got mates who I don't socialise with no more. They're probably still smashed up every weekend on the packeting. I've got friends that have become great friends because they're not like that. You know what I mean? Because I've distanced myself from anything that can drag me into anything naughty.
It's like what they say, a leopard never changes his spots, but
that's horseshit.
Psychologically, a human can change his thought process, the way that he approaches things, the way that he thinks, the way that he reacts, the way that she, male or female, like
2 weeks to form a habit, mate. 2 weeks. You
can change your identity, and I know you can because I've done it.
Yeah, listen. Everybody used to love fun time Sammy in the pub, having a laugh, having a giggle, taking the piss. But I used to think everyone loved me for that. That wasn't, man. They was laughing at me. They was laughing at me. I was the dick. I was making a fool of myself.
They'd only call you because you was the entertainment, the same
exactly.
As me, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And you
the class clown.
We're very much similar in personality and behaviour traits.
Yeah. Class clown.
Dicking around all the time, like to be funny, fucking life of the party, but eventually you realise they're laughing at you, man. And it
was a bit different for me, really, because it come to a point where I would never be invited to anything, or I wouldn't even be asked, or if I was asked, I'd always be asked last minute.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't, I ain't being funny, but if you ain't going to ask me when you ask everybody else, then don't ask me at all. You know what I mean? And that got to me a little bit, in a way. It's like, well, they've asked everybody else and invited everybody else, but how come they invited me? And then you see somebody last minute, oh, how you doing? Yeah, oh yeah, well, come round if you want. Yeah. Nah, you're more right, mate.
Because
you know what I mean?
The unpredictability of your behaviour.
You're more right, mate. You know what I mean? You don't. If you call invite me from the start, then don't invite me at all, because I ain't nobody's.
I like the people that are straight with me when I've gone, well, why haven't I been invited there? Years ago this used to happen. I was very similar to yourself. Why didn't I get invited there? Because you're a fucking dick. The mates that were straight with me and said, because you're a fucking dick.
You tell you that I'm a dick.
I could understand it, and I could think, you know what?
It's like, I am pretty much you. Like, I say what I think.
Yeah.
Which is a bad thing, and then it ain't a bad thing, whatever.
No, you've got to be true to yourself.
You've got to be truthful, ain't you? But I think we're nearly running out of time now, so we're going to have to wrap it up, Sam, because this room's occupied again in a bit. So
Sound.
It's been lovely speaking
Thanks
to you.
very much.
All right, mate.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Sound.